Likely Sasquatch activity. Apparently, there's been something around these folks for quite some time. Let's take a look. It says near the Green River Game Lands in Polk County, North Carolina, and right at Lake Adger. Okay, Green River Game Lands over there. Lake Adger. There's a pretty extensive campground down there. I don't think those are homes. No, that's just campgroundy stuff, I think. Yeah, neat. But yeah, there's some farmland in the outskirts of the area. I don't see any really big cities. Hendersonville, sort of big, but not really. Um, so yeah, we're talking about the middle of nowhere. So, you know, likely. Okay. In October 2011, we found footprints leading away from our outdoor fire pit. Something had stepped in wet ashes after a big storm. We could see where it tried to wipe ash off on the rocks, then took long strides across the yard. Well, that's not terrifying at all. Several years later, year not recalled, on a camping trip near the same area, at about 7 p.m., I heard heavy footfalls, a knock in a pattern of 5 or 6 knocks. Then, about 100 yards away from that, I heard another commotion and more heavy footfalls towards the first. It sounded like two animals met and a flock of turkeys stepping in a thicket was just annihilated. The attack lasted 15 seconds, with the turkeys screeching and flapping loudly. Well, that's interesting because that's actually exactly how they hunt. They said a knock pattern of 5 or 6. Now, a couple hikers in the woods that think they come across a Bigfoot, they'll hear 2 knocks, thump, thump. And that's basically a Bigfoot telling another one that there are basically uh, two people kind of in their hunting area. Um, it's very interesting. They said 5 or 6 knocks at a time. That's a whole flock of birds. They were just counting how many they were. That's that's fascinating. Anyway, later that night, I heard the same knocking pattern, and then an answer in the far distance with the same pattern. Um, a few years later, back at my home, during a break in a huge storm at about 2 a.m., I heard something trying to climb over a wire fence in my backyard. My son and I went out with guns, um, as we've had some vandalism incidents. On the back porch, the fence was still shaking, and we heard footsteps crashing to our left. So, I mean, that one could have been anything, but the first one, fire pit footprints, that's creepy. The second one, the wood knocking, yeah, that's creepy too. The third one here in the yard, you've had vandalism incidents. That could have been a person. Could have been. Um, I yelled out for whoever it might be to leave us alone. I announced we were armed. Then we heard a loud crack, like a rifle shot from the direction of the footsteps. At this time, we were really afraid, and I emptied my shotgun towards the crack sound. There were several more pops, and I pushed my son and now awake wife back into the house, and then emptied my .22 rifle also. Um, there's something creepy going out there. I mean, that could have been the third one. Could have been vandals, but you never know. Bigfoot is an interesting species. As my son handed me the shotgun, he'd reloaded. The cracking increased, and I realized something was pushing a huge tree over, and the cracks were the splitting of wood. Ooh, that's not terrifying. The tree crashed to the ground, literally shaking the whole house. My family pushed their way back outside, terrified, and we all heard loud footfalls running away from the fallen tree. Yeah, they do that. They'll knock trees over and stuff. Also noticed ash footprints from a wet outdoor fireplace. A big tree pushed over other witnesses. 3 at home, 2 on the camping trip. Other stories. I saw a video report in Henderson County. Timing conditions. Footprints after a fall storm. Tree incident after a flooding storm. Camping incident on a cool fall night. So this is three incidents, and uh, you know, these folks, they live out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, clearly, and you know, you're out there contending with Bigfoot that also wants to be in that area. So you know, it is what it is. We got to learn how to share the land with these things. I guess follow-up investigation. I'm not going to read that, but yeah, I think that's probably legit. I mean, that's kind of the MO, kind of what you want to wait for, short and simple kind of things. And they didn't actually see anything, of course. Bigfoot are kind of shady like that. But anyway, this is kind of a reading of BFRO report number 67582, submitted January of this year, which is terrifying. Incidentally, there's a lot of new reports coming up on this site as these creatures, they're becoming more and more aggressive. It would appear. So there's that. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I do appreciate your following and interest in this sort of stuff. Have a wonderful day, and I am out. Looks like you've reached the end of the video here, fellers. Well, I do appreciate you watching, and if you don't mind, just going down in the comments section there and bloop in your little comments and leave a like and a dislike and a share and a subscribe and a complaint and a salutation and whatever else you want to do. Incidentally, my store link should be in the description somewhere if you want to stop by and click on stuff. That would be super nifty. Anyway, that's what I got. So you have a wonderful day.